Okay, let's create a controller so that user can register, log in and log out. So let's go inside, create a new controller named auth controller. Okay, so here first we'll create a register method to register a brand new user. So here also we'll accept request. Let's import it. Okay, so we'll create new user. So username will be request username, and email will be, so we'll encrypt this password. We'll not say the password that user typed, but instead we'll use bcrypt function. String random, random string of like, okay, 50 character will work. So API token will be any string with 50 character. Alright, so what else? 1 2 3 4 fields. Okay, we'll call it user. Okay, after creating user, we'll return a response. Return response JSON, and we'll return an array of user, which will be this user, and from there we can access API token. Also we'll return a 201 code, or you can return 200. You can read about status codes. F1 or 200 will work. Alright, so let's create another method for login. Okay, while logging in, user will enter email and password. So we'll check if user with that email and password exists. If exists, we'll return a user token, sorry, API token, so that with that token user can register, user can access other resources which authenticated user can access. So basically the idea of login is returning the API token with which we can identify the user. Okay, so first we'll check if user exists. So user where email equals to request email. Also we'll check where password equals to request password. So if not user, so if there is no user, we'll return, let's copy this, we'll return a response with error. So status error. and message username, okay, invalid credentials, and we'll return 401 unauthorized. So if there is user, we'll return another success response. Okay, status success, status success. Alright, so after login, we'll get user and we'll have access to the token, which will pass in our URL and get access to resources. Similarly, let's create for logout. So basically, when someone hits logout, what we'll do is so API token will always be present inside header. So request API token. So user where. So first we'll find the user and then we'll make the API token null, and then we'll save. And we'll save it. So yeah, like that. So if no user, will do same like this. Okay, so yeah, will unauthorized not logged in. Okay, for now this will work. Yeah, we'll later use a separate middleware for this. Okay, for now this will work. So let's make a route for it. Let's go to web and let's make new routes. I'll make it above this. So get so login. Yeah, that should do the trick. Let's make sure we're importing that. So F5 is shortcut for PHP companion plugin. So let's go to user model and fillable our email. Let's make username fillable and API token fillable. Also make password. Okay. Yeah, we don't have name, but yeah, that will do work. Okay, so let's create a new user. Currently we have no user in our user table. So currently no user inside users table. And let's go to Postman and send request to that route. So that is register, and that will be post request, and will be passing key value pair. Alright, so we'll be passing username. Username will be mathematics. Email be password 123, and what else? So API token will be already inserted. Yeah, these three are variables we need to pass. Okay, so let's check, and I'll send a request. Okay, look like we don't have this helper here. We have this on Laravel, but in Lumen you need to do app and hash make. So make app hash make will work. Okay. Okay, let's try again. Okay, success. So we successfully created a new user. Let's check here. Alright. Okay, so now let's try login. So let's go to, so let's send get request to login. Actually login will be also post request, sorry about that, let's change that. Login post. Okay, so let's send login, that will be post. Now also we need to use yeah, app hash make here as well. You can create your helpers here as well, but for now I'll just go with okay. So login, and we need to pass body, and we are logging in with email and password. So let's try. Okay, it's set invalid credentials. Okay, looks like we need to slightly modify this login function, because checking password like this will not work, because it is hashed password. What we'll do is first we'll find the user with the email entered. So if not user, we'll say user not found. So we'll check for password. So if hash check. So by the way, you can just replace this with hash make also, that is same. So hash check, and it accepts two parameters. So one will be request, we'll check the password that user typed with the password of user. So if that that is true, so it will return true or false. So you can look inside definition. So if that is the case, if it is true, we'll return this. So otherwise we'll return the error. So here will be 404 because it is not found, and this is unauthenticated. Alright, so let's test. So we are logging in with email and correct password. Let's send response. Okay, we need to import this as. Okay, that's up here. Let's try again. Alright, we got success. Okay, so now we can store this API token in our front end. So while we'll be building a Vue.js application, we'll be fetching this API token and storing it in our local storage and make that token to make further requests. So that's it. So similarly here we can pass, after the success we'll turn status success. You are now logged out. Okay, so let's test this. So in order to make the logout, you need to pass the API token, and that token would be this, and let's pass that, and let's send the get request and see what happens. Success, you are now logged out. And if you see the user table, there is no API token. Alright, so now let's log in again. Send success, we get. Okay, yeah, we need to make slight change here. So since we are making the API token null while logout, we need to put the new token on login. So if the password is correct, we'll update the user. So user update, and we need to update it with new API token, and that will be the string random and 50 characters. Okay, so now that should work. Let's log in again. Success, yeah, new API token, and let's log out again. Yeah, not logged in, yeah, because we need to pass a new API token, otherwise it will not find the user. Send, you are not, yes, you are now logged out. Slightly different. You are now. Okay, so if you see here, it should successfully remove the API token. Let's log in again with these credentials. Okay, yeah, so now that's working. So this is the register, login and logout functionality in place. Okay, now next we'll use the auth middleware to authenticate to protect our routes. So currently this route can be accessed by anyone. Let's use the authentication. So if you go to authentication inside documentation, it will tell you to uncomment some codes. I think you need to uncomment the auth service provider inside bootstrap app. So bootstrap app, so auth service provider should be uncommented. Also I think we need to uncomment this app route middleware, auth middleware. Save it. I think that's it. So if you go to auth service provider, you'll see there is inside boot method this authentication middleware is this is checking for API token. So if API token is present, it will pass it will allow the user to pass through that route, and user can access the content of that route. So yeah, you can also modify that. So if the API token is not the field name, you can change it here. I think that's it. So now we can use the middleware. Okay, actually we need to use middleware inside array like this. So using like this middleware won't work, I think. Yeah, so we are protecting this index with our auth middleware, so we cannot access it. When we want to access ports, it will give us unauthorized with 401 status code. Okay, so this works just fine. Also you can assign inside controller. So if I go to board controller, let's go to board controller, and inside constructor you can pass like this middleware. So this middleware auth, and you need to pass, you can pass accept. So okay, I'll apply middleware to everything except index. And so you can also use only. So if you only want to assign the auth middleware to store, you can do that too. So you can access index and so without any API token, but in order to create new, you need to be authenticated. So you can check that. Now we can access boards. Slightly typo there. Yeah, you can access this time. So if you want everything to be protected, you can do that too. So now we cannot access any of those unauthorized. So in order to be authorized, we need to pass the token. Okay, so now we can access the resource. Okay, so this is about authentication. Next we'll deal with authorization. So currently the user, any authenticated user can view these boards or index, but we only allow the user who created to see these boards. So that is so we'll deal about authorization.